Hello, everybody. This is me, Michelle Lynn Tackett.
This is Shawn.
You'll find out here in a minute why Shawn did that. But let's get this out of the way. If you like the channel, please subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment, hit the notification bell. You can also join our social medias like Instagram, TikTok, Discord, Reddit, our WordPress blog, and you can join our Patreon where we're going to have Jack's Joke of the Week up pretty soon. And we do exclusive content. You can start as low as $1 a month. And if you want to, hey, what the heck, just donate to PayPal if you want one time. Thank you to all our Patreons who made this video possible. And now let's get into this. What did I just watch? We're doing the Square Enix one first. What was that?
Oh, wow. I mean, wow.
I don't think Rumpelstiltskin slept as long as how long that felt.
Oh, I know. I mean, wow.
One of the biggest Final Fantasy PlayStation fans on the planet, Dreamcast guy, did a hilarious video where he said that he's seen car wrecks that were more uplifting.
Yeah.
And I had to leave a comment. I said, well, I don't know. I said, I can't be too hard on him. It did cure a lot of people as insomnia.
Yeah, I mean, no kidding.
The big problem was over 20 minutes on Guardians of the Galaxy because one superhero flop isn't enough.
Exactly. Good old Square Enix.
It looks okay.
No, it don't. It looks I mean, even Dreamcast guy, you know what a big PlayStation fan, it looks garbage.
I mean, it's not going to be though like one of these online microtransaction games. It's going to be a single player adventure.
I know that, but I'm just saying the graphics are pathetic. I mean, they're so dull and uninspiring. I mean, you know, and the gameplay does not look good at all. It looks like an extension of the Marvel games. And even with the Black Panther, you may like the movie and stuff, it just stunk with the Marvel section.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know why they're pushing this game and this series so much. I mean, Square Enix, folks, we just might as well say it. I think a lot of them is bought off by Sony because they're becoming westernized now. They no longer care about the Japanese gamers anymore because this showcase showed it was all Western games, baby. That's all it was. And for the few classics that they did have, that's for the Switch as well.
PS4.
But they didn't even show a trailer for it. No. They just showed coming soon. And then with the Final Fantasy stuff and everything else, mobile phones. Mobile phones.
Except for Final Fantasy Chaos.
Yeah.
It looks like a Devil May Cry ripoff.
That's all it does. That's all it does.
It doesn't even look like Final Fantasy anymore.
Yeah, they're taking it, like I said, they're westernizing it. They're taking Final Fantasy out of the Japanese lore, and they're westernizing it. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
It hasn't been the same in years, but I've said this already. And now do you people see why I'm scared for Dragon Quest 12?
Yeah. Yeah. I see your concerns now.
Yeah.
I really do. I see your concerns. And it's not good, folks.
No.
I mean, how in the world they snorted out a wonderful game like Project Triangle and Octopath Traveler. How those games ever came out of Square?
Quest 11.
Yeah, I don't know. Last of their good ilk. Because I'm telling you, folks, these new games, Square was, I mean, for people who mistakenly trashed the Ubisoft, I mean, like I said, Ubisoft to me had Avatar, they had Mario Rabbids.
Which was the show stealer, and they had that Rainbow Six, whatever it was.
Yeah. Folks, if you want to call that bad, that was Gone with the Wind, the Titanic, and Lords of the Ring compared to this.
Yeah.
I mean, this out of all of the E3s I've watched, this is the worst presentation I have ever seen.
It reminds me of the 2008 Nintendo one, the 2006 Sony one, and the 2013 Microsoft one.
But they were even better. They were better.
Yeah.
Seriously, I can't believe how bad this was. It was just like, you know, hey Marvel, we're feeding you guys money. 20 minutes was a Guardian of the Galaxies, and another what? 5 or 6 was for Marvels and stuff. Yeah. I mean, you know, over half the presentation was for Marvel.
Yeah.
And I am just like, I can't believe how bad this was. And they showed a so-called game that Platinum abandoned, and it looked sluggish.
Oh, yeah, that Babylon Fall.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that... people didn't think it looked up to platinum standards, and it didn't.
It didn't. It didn't.
Oh, wow. There was no good new announcements.
No.
What about Final Fantasy K? Like I said, there was no good new announcements.
Yeah.
I grew up on Square. You could ask Shawn. I had Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana. I had the Final Fantasy games on my Super Nintendo. Even when they went to PlayStation, I would try to, if somebody had a PlayStation, play Final Fantasy 7. I never got to play 9 or 8, but I played some of 10.
People think I'm picking on it. I love Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy Chronicles. I like Crystal Chronicles. Yeah, I like those games. I did. I love 10. That's my favorite Final Fantasy game. I'm sad that this is where Square Enix is going. It's sad. And, as far as the Platinum thing goes, why did Platinum do this? The little Sony crybags. And I'm sorry, they get Astro Train and Bayonetta 3 for Nintendo. We don't get anything. Where? So Platinum just like, you know what, they even abandoned the project. It was going so bad. So, there you go, Sony fans. You got your game. Wow.
Square lost money last year.
Yeah.
You think they would learn. Capcom is rolling in the dough.
No. Yeah.
Because of Monster Hunter and all these other games. And it's like Square is ashamed to be a Japanese company.
Now, yeah.
Did that turn off people from Monster Hunter Rise, which is already sold well over 7 million copies? No.
No.
Did it turn them off of Resident Evil? No.
No.
Or, hey, wait do you see what Ace Attorney does?
And Monster Hunter Stories too.
Yeah, that'll be a big sell.
Yeah, exactly. And they all have Japanese feels to them.
Yeah.
Square's abandoning. This is off topic, but it connects, trust me. Once again, when Rare left Nintendo, Silicon Knights, and Square, I know they weren't owned by Nintendo, but they were a big part. When they always made a lot of their games. When they left Nintendo, and when Monolith left them, they just went down. They started going downhill.
Factor 5 went downhill.
Yeah.
Every company that leaves Nintendo, it seems to be the curse.
Yeah.
You leave Nintendo, you pay the price.
Right, yeah.
People can talk about Sea of Thieves all they want, but Rare has not been the same since they left Nintendo. They may be getting better again, but they're not that top 3 developer like they used to be. Yeah. Silicon Knights went bankrupt, Factor 5 went bankrupt, and now Square Enix is a joke.
Because you're right, but Nintendo never owned Square. Monolith, and Monolith was Square.
They were the heart and soul of Square.
Let's
exactly. Just get it out of the way. Monolith Soft was the heart and soul of Square. Even when Monolith or Square left Nintendo, Monolith was still there for a few more years. After that, it just seemed like Final Fantasy... Dragon Quest was keeping them going, but Final Fantasy may have had its kiss-butt fans. But the reality is, Final Fantasy just hasn't been the same since 10.
10 was the last great one.
You can even say, oh, this one was good and stuff. Yeah, but with Final Fantasy, you have a standard. Like it was supposed to be in there with Zelda, but it's not even close now. It's not even in the same planet as Zelda.
You want to play Final Fantasy, a great Final Fantasy game? I'll tell you 3 of them. Xenoblade Chronicles 1, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Exactly.
There's your Final Fantasy games right there.
Exactly. You have the heart and core of the original Final Fantasy games at that studio.
Yep.
This is Michelle Lynn Tackett.
And this is Shawn.
Grade for the Square Enix E3 is a 2 out of 10.
1 out of 10 for me. Pathetic.